Hi guys, in my video diary, for my first video diary, I'd like to talk a bit about how culture can be different even within a certain country. Now, culture, as we know, is very important in public relations, and how to understand culture will help you to get a foothold in doing business within that country and doing public relations within that country. Now, what I like to highlight in this video blog is about how to successfully do international PR. It's not just about understanding the country, but understanding the subsets of different cultures that may exist within that country. A case in point would be something like Korea. Now, Korea is a country that has been technically at war for over 30 years. That being so, they still do have a single culture. They have similar foods, similar histories. They are basically still Korean. They speak the same language, but because of 30 years of war and 30 years of political differences, cultures within each countries have changed. South Koreans have taken a more modern approach, and North Koreans have basically enclosed themselves within the country by them being alone, and they have segregated themselves from the rest of the world. That being the case, they now have a slower pace of life. Although their people are now in poverty, but they have been able to live without the modern knowledge of the world. Now, South Korean has prospered. They have gotten good economy. People know their country because South Koreans are very famous worldwide. But because of the way that each part of the country, like North and South Korea, have progressed, they now have two different different culture types within the country. Example would be a story that I had read about a North Korean who had escaped into South Korea as a refugee, and what she had highlighted was that when she had finally gotten to South Korea, for the first year it had been almost impossible to live. Had it not been for supportive friends, she would have never been able to survive in South Korea because of the differences in the cultures. Basically, she was not able to survive in the high-speed pace of life that is available in South Korea. The modern lifestyle that the South Korea have now is something that is not easily accepted by many. It takes a lot of time. Now, I believe that after so many years, she has already gotten used to it and is now living happily in South Korea. But when we talk about doing PR, we have to understand how these cultures work. We cannot expect to get the people used to your company. So I just like to want to highlight the importance of not just understanding how PR can relate to the country, but how to be able to have a foothold in the country, you also need to understand the individual cultures that exist within the country. Another example would be something like in India. In India, the society there it's a little bit of a complex culture there, because in India there are not just one type of races. There are quite a many different subset of groups. There are the Sikhs, there are the Hindis, there are also the Tamils. So because they all three have different roots, these are also considered as different culture types, which, depending on what your company decides to do when you want to do your PR there, research has probably got to be more in-depth to talk about how these races are segregated, so that you can understand and target your market better. Okay, that's all. Thanks. Good night.